Hi, I'm Bob Mager, and I'd like to welcome you to this module development workshop. In this module, you get to create something of your own. You get to create at least 2 modules that you can take back to wherever you came from and say, hey, look at these. They work. I created them, I tried them out, I revised them until they do exactly what they're supposed to be able to do. These videotapes have been put together for a number of reasons. One is that it will provide some additional examples. Another is perhaps a little change of pace. Thirdly, we can highlight some points of special interest and perhaps work through a practice item or two. Mainly, though, they give me a chance to have a little chat with you about the substance of the modules. Because module development doesn't begin until it's been established that there is something that somebody doesn't now know that they need to know, things they need to be able to do, this course is built on the basis of some assumptions. These assumptions are that you or somebody else has already conducted an analysis and that people can't now do what they need to be able to do, and that you are going to do something about that. We also assume that you brought your analysis documents with you. Now, you'll find those on a list on page 3 of the 01 booklet as to what you need. We assume that you brought an objective or several objectives and the skill checks that match. You've got an objectives hierarchy, a target population description, and some resources such as perhaps a textbook or a manual or other kind of reference item. The one item you don't have yet is a learning environment description, and so that's going to be the first thing you put together during the workshop. So let's begin by thinking a little bit about what a module is. Of course, it's whatever we say it is, but what we say is that a module is a unit of instruction that contains or prescribes everything needed to facilitate the accomplishment of a particular objective. That means that the module contains everything needed to teach a meaningful skill rather than be a repository for subject matter. Another key feature of the module is that the module is performance controlled rather than time constrained. That means the students are given an opportunity to practice until they can perform the objective of the module, rather than until a bell rings. So that means that one module might take a half a period or a third of a period to accomplish. Another one might take several standard periods of instruction to accomplish. There's another key feature of the module, and that is that the module is a gap filler. It fills the gap between what someone can now do and what that person is expected to be able to do. And because the module is a gap filler, you're just going to have to get used to the fact that modules don't look alike. They're not all the same size and shape. Some are big, some are small, and they come with various textures and various combinations of media to make them work. Which leads to this point. There is a difference between what you do here at the workshop and what you do back at the ranch. While you're here, tell yourself that you're going to make your modules as lean and efficient and effective as you possibly can do it. And then when you get back home again, you can then decide what you have to do differently in order to conform to company practice. Let's think for a moment about the big picture of module development. The module is being developed because there's a gap between what somebody can do and what they need to be able to do. And that means that above all, that module is going to contain practice and, of course, feedback for that practice. But there are 2 key reasons for practice to be included in the module. The first, of course, is that doing is the key to competence. Practicing is the way to get somebody from where they are to where you want them to be. But there's another reason, and that is that skill is not enough. It's not enough just to be able to do something. You need to have the confidence in your ability to do it if you want to maximize the probability that that skill is going to be applied in the future. In other words, if you send somebody away very competent but very shaky about their feeling of competence, the chance is not too good that they're going to try to apply that skill when the next opportunity arrives. So those are the two reasons why practice is such a key activity in your module. And of course, in addition to practice, you will include whatever you need then to prepare the student to practice, whether you need to teach them some knowledge, some content, or whether you need to tell them how to avoid dangerous situations, whatever it may be, that then is included in your module before people get to practicing the objective. Now then, about your module. The first module you select for development. First of all, please select a topic that you know well. It's very frustrating to try to build a module about something you don't know much about. So even if you have to use a hobby subject, start with a module for which you know the subject matter very well. Then, make sure that the objective isn't too big or too small. Now there's a fuzzy for you, right? But something that takes about 20 or 40 minutes to learn under normal circumstances would be about the size of an objective that you're looking for. Check with the course manager if you have any question about it. Thirdly, please do not use an orientation program as the substance of your module. Orientation programs have different purposes than that of teaching somebody something that they can't yet do. One last point. Module developers are flexible people. They do whatever it takes to get that module to where it meets the needs of their students, matches their learning environment, and the requirements of the objective. So that means the modules are going to look different, and the rhythm of module development is going to be different for different kinds of instructional material. Now it's your turn. And remember that in this workshop, there are opportunities for delight, because it is a real delight when you begin to see that module that you've developed actually working, actually doing the thing that it was constructed to do. So go and generate some delight for yourself.